Because the more you trying to act out your freedom, the more you thinking for yourself, the more you have access to these tools, and you're like, well, why can't I use them like that as everybody else is using them like that? And you realize you're like that child inside a racist classroom, that little black child who got that spirit crushed because he see everybody else doing something and the teacher's treating them different. And no matter what they say, no matter how much they intellectualize it, no matter how much they try to evoke emotion and empathy, it's just hate. And hate is so sophisticated that it doesn't show up the way you do. It can be the agent that loves you because you're making them money. It's such a sophisticated hate that you can't even tell. They give you a deal that they know will go against your people but fatten their pockets. Right? It's a sophisticated hate because you think that it's supposed to frown, but this type of hate smiles in your face, does deals with you. And it feels like they're helping your family out, but they're destroying your people, and they're making you an unwitting participant because they understand that you just want to survive. You just want to thrive. You just want to finally get to a place to where you exalted just a little bit. And every other people in this country has learned this lesson far earlier than we have. They understand the complexity of what we call culture, which is consciousness and motion. It's our language, right? It's our finances. It's our spirituality. It's our media, right? It's our mind, right? It's our entertainment. It's our music. It's all these things, but we keep acting like it's just something that we own and control because of the way we feel about it. No, whoever dominates it controls it. Who controls the narrative? Who controls the memory of how we feel, how we think about things? Those are the ones that control the culture. And without the intentionality of us saying that this is now the time. Well, what time is it in? There's a time where democracy is over and people are focusing on monarch rule, absolute power and control. We look at our brother Patrice Traore in Burkina Faso. He said, why do we focus on democracy? No, what did Kwame Ture say? He said, why would you have peace when there's no liberation? And we just want some peace, and that's not the time we're living in. It is not the time we're living in. Everybody else is practicing warfare, right? One people is trying to maintain power, while another people is trying to give power, and something has to give. They can't be balanced. You think they'll give you half and you get half? Or is it that you want 100%? When you look another man in his face, dead to his face, and you want the power that he has, what you think he gonna do? Because isn't that what we're trying to do, whether we think we're doing it silently or not? They know we want power. They know we want equality. They know we want freedom and justice. But then that robs them of their riches because they live off slavery. They live off our inequality. They live off the injustice that is done to us, and they're able to build wealth off of it. When you get robbed in your contract because you didn't have the literacy of the legalese from language that they created, that they didn't teach you about, and said that you should have known or just had financial literacy. You should have known about the predatory practices of our communities that have been happening for decades. And you should know, even though that you spent most of your time becoming skilled in some entertainment thing that requires mastery of all your time, you should also know exactly how to defend yourself from our mastery and our trickery. It's a system. It's a trick. And they know that there's a lot of us that are boule that just want to get past. They just want to get out of survival mode. Just get a little bit to thriving. And we'll be okay with whatever's required to continue to thrive, because now we have bills to pay and I don't have time to think about nobody else but myself and my family. So they turn us into one of them. Little capitalists with no revolutionary spirit or agenda, willing to sell out our people as long as we can make it up a little bit, but then they're always going to remind you, you're not one of them. There's a story, if you go back, there was a Prince Hall Mason. This Prince Hall, Prince Hall, he was the guy, right? And he was started his by the 441 Regiment. It was these Irish Masons, right? Now, they didn't look at race and things of that nature in the same way that we did it today. As long as they was fellowshipping about masonry, then they considered you to be a brethren. Now, he helped them start the first chapter in recognizing it, right? But the problem is that when he did that, Prince Hall and about 14 other black men that was practicing his knowledge, which is just knowledge they ended up getting from the Masons anyway, and cosmology, and taking our ancestry, bringing it back to the brothers, which is why it felt so familiar in the first place, right? But what happened was that once they started that, they were supposed to be masters in that realm. But the white men who were taking on the masonry were so goddamn jealous and racist that they did not recognize, right? They did not recognize their position, even though that they were stemming from those houses. They did not recognize the benefits that those brothers were supposed to get because they were racist. And no matter what, no matter how much brotherhood you think you got with somebody, no matter you think you got on the same fraternal jacket, no matter if you think you're practicing the same things they're doing, they understand something about you fundamentally, that if they allow equality to happen, that you're going to win. How can you compete with a LeBron James if he got the same finances as you, the same position in power, and biologically he towers over you like a giant? How could you compete with that? It automatically makes you obsolete. People are going to want to do business with them instead of you, so you have to figure out a moat. You have to figure out something that gives you a competitive advantage. How do you compete with a Kobe doing the same things? No. The moat that they have is their power. And it's keeping you out of it and them in control of it. So they never, ever, 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 regardless of how you raise your son, regardless of the accreditations that they give you, regardless of the jobs that they give you, they will use you, but they'll never want to empower you. And it's not just them. That comes in all skin colors of people who don't want to empower you. I deal with it myself. The boule come to me. They want me to help them, help with their agenda, get the community behind them, give them some trust. But they don't want to give me no power. They don't want to empower me. They just want to use me. Just like the vampires in the movie with Sinners. They want to empower you. They didn't want you to live. It was so you can join their thing, so they can take your power, your memories, your consciousness, your skill sets, your value, and they will use it.